Enough! Stop! Stop it! Stop it right now! What is going on? No! Stop it! No! It's getting worse!
And therefore, we are entitled to keep the $620,000 that we've essentially, what membership is. It says Google subscription.
How is anyone going to argue that this company's in the right?
I'm pretty sure I can release the whole phone call, which I plan on doing. We just need to make double check with our attorney.
You might as well just lobotomize them at that point, because you can't get through to them. You can't reach them. I'm bemused that you're able to draw air into your lungs with the level of pure retardation that you're operating on. Bro, why are you saying this? Why? Why? For what reason? Okay, right. Anyway, Ethan Klein drama. I don't know anything about this. I saw this video. I put it to people who've been asking about it. Let's see what's going on. Let's find out what's going on.
All right. Well, I never thought I'd be the last idiot to get ripped off by an MCN, but here I am. You know, I've always been so skeptical of MCNs, and a lot of people don't even know what those are anymore. They're called multi-channel networks.
Yes.
Back in the day, they were kind of more like management companies. They could even get you like guaranteed ad revenue deals. A lot of them were involved in facilitating shows and big sponsorships. So back in the day, they were a big deal and they were kind of important to have. But as time went on and there was more scandals with MCNs, the way it works is that when you sign up with the MCN, YouTube sends all of your ad revenue, everything you make via YouTube, to them. And then they send it to you. Now, back in the day, they would take a cut. Let's say they would take 10%. And so they would take the whole payment and then they would pay you 90%. Now,
really?
Let's see, I joined them in 2017. And the deal we had with them is we would get 100% of everything. Basically, if they brought us like a sponsorship, like let's say Nike was like, hey, I want to put an ad. I want Ethan to read an ad in his video. So if they brought us that, then they would get a cut of that. But everything we made through YouTube, 100% of YouTube revenue came to us. The reason that this was convenient for me is because when we first made our AdSense account, we were in Israel. Now, there's a rule about AdSense accounts. You can only have one at a time.
Wait.
And because it was in Israel, they don't let you change your country. So this whole time, my whole career, I've been using the same AdSense account that's associated with living in Israel. And the only way that I could actually get paid is if I connected to a network and YouTube sent the money to them and then they sent us the money. That was the only way. Just to be clear here, because the AdSense account was made in Israel, we could only pay it to an Israeli bank account, which we don't even have anymore because we live in the...
Oh my God. Enough. Stop. Stop it. Stop it right now. What is going on? Why is he fucking... Oh my God, man. What is going on? This is insane. What is going on?
United States. So the only way to get that money paid to our American bank accounts was to send it to the MCN first, which is crazy, right? And I've been exploring how to disconnect from them on my own. And the part that I was really afraid of was essentially that it can take a while to get a new AdSense account.
I mean, look, memes aside, okay? This chat is unhinged as fuck. Wait, what? Hang on a second. People are Pepe posting because of the memes about Israel and the Israeli bank. I don't think that's unhinged, is it? You don't understand what the Pepe thing means, right? It's not as if... Listen, if it were on Rumble, I'm sure it would be a bunch of L Jews, Holocaust. I'm sure it would be very extreme. But here, the worst you get is a bit of Pepe posting. Anyway, guys, I love Israel. Guys, I love Israel. Who loves Israel? Anyone in the chat love Israel like me?
Approved and to get it all connected and running, like up to 2 weeks, maybe more, right? So that would be 2 weeks of our channel, of our memberships, of everything. No revenue, everything's turned off. So for me, I was like, "Ugh, I don't want to go through that." I guess what happened recently is that I got my payment stub from them like usual, which shows basically how much they paid us. And when I went into YouTube analytics, I noticed it was like significantly off.
Arr, goddamn Crenshaw. Can you please respect Israel?
Okay, can we just... Who was that? I think it was I don't know who it was. It was weird, a very weird thing.
And I was like, this is strange. And I asked our accountant or our finance.
Okay, anyway, look, the Israel thing is completely irrelevant to the story. It is a side meme that we're doing. Can we stop with the Israel memes now, please? I just look. I just want to find out about this drama, and I'm fighting brutal anti, whatism in chat. It is absolutely savage, guys. I love Israel. I love the Jews. Okay, the Holocaust was bad. It shouldn't have happened, and it happened how it was stated in the history books exactly. Okay. Let's just make that clear straight away.
Finance for our businesses to go look back and see if there's discrepancies. And as far as we could tell, they had skimmed $620,000 at least, right? That's just from what we can tell from specifically the membership.
Wait, look at this. Is the drama that Ethan supports Israel? No, it's nothing to do with Israel whatsoever. It's just Ethan happened to mention at the start of the video something to do with Israel. And people started Pepe posting, which was a good meme. And now here we are, and we don't know where we are. And listen, are there any anti-Semites in chat? Are there any anti-Semites? Make yourselves known so I can immediately ban you. Or time you out. I'll time you out for 10 minutes.
Ship money. And that especially ticks me off because these is people coming to us to show us their direct support. Like that was the whole point of this program. And what happened was we started really investing in the members program recently in the past year or two, like heavily, to the point where it's one of our main sources of income now in terms of what happens on the podcast. People have been so gracious, so supportive.
Also, I've just realized as well, this whole conversation is about money. This whole drama is about money. Oh no. Oh no. We're fucked. We're fucked. Oh no.
Amazing. And part of what really pisses me off is that they went after that money.
Okay.
Now you might be
Here's a question for you. Right? The people that run this this company that are responsible for stealing all this money. What what? Shazrad Rafati. What's his background or what's his kind of background? What's okay. Oh my god. No, stop it.
Listen, I'm an idiot for letting this go on for so long, right? Part of what happened was we had our old accountant lady who was with us for a few years. Before she started, I used to every month go over the receipt, check it against YouTube, and make sure it was 100% correct. Now, it had never been wrong in all my years of being on YouTube. And when she started, I outsourced it to her because it was tedious. It was taking a lot of my time. I mean, this is part
Hang on a second. I think it was a Somalian-based company. A Somalian-based company stole. Hang on a second. Wait. No! Stop it! No! It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Oh no.
part of what growing a business is outsourcing this kind of tedious tasks like that. And so
now come on, let's find out. Come on, let's stop messing about. Broadband TV. Broadband TV. Oh, it's giving me it's giving me options to set up. Oh, here we go. Broadband TV core. Okay. It's in Canada. It's in Canada. Okay. Misinformation squashed. It's a Canadian company. Okay. Can we just chill out a little bit, okay? And guess what, guys? Listen, we're debunking the far right narratives today. I've Control F for Jew, and there's no hits on the CEO's page. Okay, so we'll squash that straight away. All right? Why is everyone so anti-Semitic in my chat anyway? What's going on there?
I outsourced it to her to check that out. And while she left about 3 months ago, we got a new person, and it turns out that she wasn't checking it at all, in fact. So this was the first time that I really noticed it. I thought that she was doing it, which is why it went on for so long. Now, what's really interesting about this is when I first noticed this had been happening, $620,000. I was like, man, maybe there's just a mistake, right? Maybe they don't know. Because in our terms, let me tell you, it was very clear that this was a 100% to us. Now, I want to show you, first of all, this is the contract we signed back in, 2017, I'm pretty sure. And YouTube, the membership program didn't even exist at this time. Okay. So if we go to, and this is the important parts, Google net revenue, of which we got 100%. Okay. It says BBTV will pay you an amount equal to.
I've got to be honest with you. I know people want to, there's one person in chat. I'm sure people that hate Ethan Klein are like clapping their hands at this. I'm like, look, this sounds like Ethan Klein got fucked over by a company from his telling of it, based on what I'm hearing so far. I don't really know if it's like a karma thing. It's just like, he's just kind of getting fucked over, right? Does he deserve to get fucked over because he's got stupid political takes? I don't know, man. That seems a bit much to me.
100% of Google net revenue received by BBTV from your videos or on your YouTube channels.
People are saying yes.
So it says BBTV will pay you an amount equal to 100% of Google net revenue. Memberships is paid to me from Google, from YouTube. It comes in the same bucket as we get from the ad.
I think chat might like this emote. Do not add the happy merchant. That is literally insane. I could probably get in trouble for that. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck? How is that been approved on the site? That sounds insane.
Ads as we get from, YouTube Premium, it's all coming from Google. So that's 100%, right? Now, when I talk to them, they pointed out this, and I'll get to all this stuff, but you guys are going to love this. They go, okay, well, they said...
Okay. The reason people hate Ethan Klein is because he used to be more of like a bit of an edgy guy. And he's kind of pivoted towards more like super hardcore SJW type style of content and doing this kind of safe edginess and stuff like that. And I think people just don't like that. People don't like the fact that he used to be edgy and now he like browbeats people super hard for like not adhering to the kind of SJW principles or whatever. That I think is the main reason. It's like the iDubbbz arc. Yeah, it's similar to the iDubbbz thing. That's my interpretation of it anyway. But, you know, even that being said, I don't personally... Listen, call me a soy nod, but I think someone getting taken advantage of to the tune of $600,000 is wrong no matter who it happens to.
There's a clause if you go to other payments. Now, these guys had the fucking audacity to come to me and say, well, if you look at this section, your revenue... And you look here, it says 70% of other net revenues. And they're like, well, memberships
Thank you.
is other net revenue.
For the sub.
And therefore, we are entitled to keep the $620,000 that we've essentially, I want to say, stole. That's
oh my God, that's crazy. So just to be clear, so they say Google net revenue. Does everyone know how it works? Does everyone know how it works, right? On YouTube, you've got different ways that you receive money from YouTube. You've got ad revenue, you've got super chats, and you've got memberships, right? Okay. So what they're trying to do, so here they're saying 100% of Google net revenue, obviously the presumption being that would include memberships because that's Google net revenue. And then what they're doing here is they're saying, well, actually, memberships aren't included in that. And they're saying that memberships are covered by this other term here.
Is net revenue to come to me and you look.
75% of other platform ad net revenue received by BBTV, 70% of other net revenue. So they're trying to say that memberships are like a differentiation from other forms of Google revenue. But my understanding on reading this would be they're referring to, say, like ad deals that they managed to acquire and run on your channel. That, I think, is, in my view, more so what this is designed for. So if they manage to secure a sponsorship deal, they'll take a big chunk of it because they've got the deal and you'll receive a fraction of it, right? But they're trying to say that memberships are included. And to me, I do not see how you can argue that a YouTube membership wouldn't be included in Google general revenue because that's how it all is provided to you. It's paid via AdSense. It's paid via AdSense account. I mean, it seems like... Listen, I know people hate Ethan Klein and keep the hate going. That's fine, right? I don't really care that much. It's funny, okay? But the problem is the company, from what I'm seeing here, seems to be trying to use this particular point of the contract to argue some point that memberships aren't included when I think they probably should be. That basically is what I'm understanding is the issue.
Look here, it says 70% of other net revenues. And they're like, well, memberships is other net revenue. And therefore, we are entitled to keep the $620,000 that we've essentially, I want to say, stole. That's my opinion. Obviously, the courts will decide. Obviously, we're suing them. Now, they must think I'm a fucking idiot, right? Because they continue, they says, or as the parties may agree upon in writing on a case-by-case basis. Now, what's interesting about this, there was no writing.
Okay. Listen, okay, why are people so committed to... Oh, this really annoys me, right? People are committed to terrible takes when it's someone they don't like, okay? He clearly read the contract, or at least his associates read the contract, okay? if someone is saying to you, we're going to give you 100% of your Google revenue, you would presume that that means memberships, because it's paid through AdSense. I get paid all of the fucking memberships through Google AdSense. That's how they pay you. Okay? Right? So it seems that what they're doing is trying to use this part of the contract to do some fuckery, to try and argue that some portion of what should be owed to him based on the other point in the contract is actually theirs. Like, this makes perfect sense as to why Ethan's pissed off about this. And it seems like the company is being bad. They're the ones in the wrong in this. They're the ones in the wrong. Yeah, it's like they're going back after the fact and going, well, actually, memberships aren't included. But there's no agreement prior to that. And if you're saying that Google revenue is going to be paid 100%, you would presume from the start that would include memberships. So, look, I don't care about the memes. If you hate Ethan, you say, yes, he deserves this, whatever. But how? How is... Okay, explain to me how the company is right on a technicality, okay? YouTube memberships is Google revenue. It's paid via AdSense. What are you not understanding about this?
There was no case-by-case basis. This was them silently saying, oh, there's this huge new revenue stream coming in.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm understanding the problem. People don't know how this works. So where does the company make money if it's paying 100%? Okay. Sorry, I'm getting mad at you, but you're clearly just asking. What these networks will do is they'll maybe give you 100% of the Google revenue, but they'll take a big cut of any sponsorship deals that they get. So they'll arrange to run a sponsorship on your channel, and they'll set it all up and do it all and run it for you, and they'll take the lion's share of the profit. So they're happy for you to have the Google revenue because they know they can make big chunks of money off of the ads that they'll be able to run on your channel. Okay? That is how they make money. So they take a big chunk of your sponsorship money. But then to the creator, if they're organizing that end to end, that's like money for old rope. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything to run the sponsorship. You just have to read an ad read, and you can make, like, I don't know, say $100,000. Fucking, you're laughing. You don't have to lift a finger. You just get provided, this is what you have to read, and you'll make this, you know. So you're going to be willing to do that, especially if you're going to get 100% of your Google money too. Who is wrong, Google or him? Google have done nothing wrong. Google are not anything to do with this beyond being the payment middleman, right? The company's in the wrong, in my opinion, because they have said at one point you'll get 100% of the Google revenue, and at another point they're trying to argue memberships aren't included under that, and they're included under another clause, so we're entitled to a large portion of the membership money.
Let's fucking steal it secretly, silently, and hope they don't notice. So this is what they're saying. They're saying, yes, it's other revenue, but it doesn't even count as other. I mean, they define Google net revenue here in the contract. Google net revenue for any period means revenue earned and actually received by BBTV in such period from Google ads and Google subscriptions with respect to your content on YouTube. Then they even define Google subscriptions, which is exactly what membership is. It says Google subscription.
How is anyone going to argue though? This company's in the right. They even fucking lay it out and say in the terms. It's right there. Oh my God, man. This is one thing that really fucking pisses me off, okay? Don't be so blinded by hate that you give a bad take on something just because you hate the content creator, okay? You are literally engaging in retardation at that point. Don't do it. Just take a step back from your bias. I'm not a massive Ethan Klein fan, but this is pretty clear to see if you know about how any of this works, that the company's 100% in the wrong on this, especially with this information, which is they're laying out what it means.
Subscription means a subscription-based service on YouTube offered or facilitated by Google, whereby end users may access your videos, the timing selection of which is at the end user's discretion, and for which the end user is charged a predetermined periodic fee to access such content as often as the end user selects. So on both of these clauses, they're dead wrong. I mean, it's like obscenely, unethically ridiculous. And for them to have the balls, the audacity to get on the phone with me and try to justify it. Here, let me run you through this whole thing. So first of all, I noticed this 3 days ago, and I wrote them all an email. I said, "Dear BBTV officers, I hope this email finds you well. I am writing to you today to address a pressing matter that has come to my attention, which requires immediate action from your end. Upon reviewing our financial records, I have discovered a significant discrepancy in the sponsorship revenue that has been remitted to the H3 podcast. It appears that Broadband TV has been withholding 30% of the sponsorship money going back as far as December 2020, possibly even earlier. The total amount withheld from us, as our records allow us to track, is $619,000, $101.06. As you are well aware, our agreement with Broadband TV, which was established in 2017, clearly states that 100% of all revenue would go to the H3 podcast. The only exceptions to this would be if Broadband TV directly brought us a third-party sponsorship in which..."
Wait, okay. Why are they showing the picture of the woman? Why? Yeah. Why can't they just? Why do they have to make it weird? Why can't they just be normal?
Welcome to Chud Nation. Eurocuck.
Thank you very much for the sub.
In which case your company would receive a cut of that specific revenue. It has become apparent that this understanding has not been respected, and I am deeply concerned about the implications of this breach in our agreement. I'm currently assuming that this discrepancy is the result of an honest mistake, and they will not need to escalate this situation any further. However, I must stress the urgency and gravity of this matter. It is of paramount importance that we resolve this issue quickly and amicably. I kindly request a detailed plan of action from you on how Broadband TV intends to rectify this situation, including the reimbursement of the entire amount withheld from us, $619,000, and any other discrepancies that may be discovered. I expect to receive this plan of action by end of the week. Friday, that was today. Failure to do so will leave me no choice but to consider alternative courses of action. I appreciate your prompt attention to this matter and have faith that we can reach an agreeable resolution. Now,
they're probably going bankrupt soon, and he was the first financial hit. This is how it goes when a company is about to collapse. Karma. Oh, I see what you mean. You mean as in the company, Broadband TV might be on the verge of collapse. Sure, I mean, it's possible desperation is the reason that they're trying to pull these tricks. Possibly, yeah. I just don't... Okay, is it karma? I would... You know, if Ethan is known for fucking others over financially, maybe that I consider it karma. But I don't know if Ethan's ever done that, has he? The worst financial thing I've seen him done was when he bought those Bo Blacks plushies and then refunded them because Bo Blacks criticized him or something.
I sent this to you 3 days ago. Attached every officer in that company, including the CEO, and they ghosted me. For 3 days, they ghosted me.
Oh, man, that's
no
crazy.
response. Last night, they said, okay, let's jump on a call on Friday to discuss. So after the podcast, I had this fantastic podcast with Terry Joe, and it was so good. It was so wholesome. It was great. I was feeling good. And then I called these guys after work. And actually, I recorded the whole thing. They are in Canada, which is a one-party, consent territory. So I'm pretty sure I can release the whole phone call, which I plan on doing. We just need to make double check with our attorney that it's kosher to do that. But there are some great moments here. So he gets on the phone and he has the balls to be, we've worked together for a long time and we really want to figure out a way to make this work. I said, cut the shit, dude. Just tell me, are you paying us back? He says, at this time, we believe that by what the contract says, we are justified in keeping this money and we will not be paying you back. He goes, yeah.
Okay. There would have to... The only way that Ethan's wrong on this is if there's some other clause or piece of the contract that hasn't been revealed. Because what he's shown so far is pretty cut and dry. They say what the Google revenue is. They lay out that it includes subscriptions, and the description covers memberships clearly. Beyond there being further information which we don't have access to, it seems pretty cut and dry and like an absolute slam dunk legally for Ethan.
Yeah, it's an other revenue. I says, okay, my dad just gave me $100. Do you want $30 of that? Me and Theodore were playing Monopoly. Do you want 30% of my Monopoly money? Like other revenue, what is that? I mean, well, other revenue. And I go, give me a break. I go back and look at the contract, and sure enough, they're full of shit, right? Full of shit, as I showed you guys. And then this was my favorite part. This is how he justifies it. He says to me, to my face, well, over the phone, he goes, okay, then let me ask you this. If you care that we've been taking this money from you, then why didn't you just leave? You know, when I joined BBTV, they were the biggest MCN at the time, and they were a big company. They were publicly traded, super reputable. So I never thought like...
Ethan only went public to put pressure on them because he didn't think it's a slam dunk. Oh my God, man. It's so bemusing the way people's brains work. I don't know what to tell you, man. The only possible thing that could make that true is if there's some other aspect of the contract that he's hiding. It is mental. People are just so blinded to it. Chat is, yes, they are deranged. It's crazy. Unless there's some other information we haven't seen, which obviously we haven't seen, so we can't judge it either way. It's like open and shut. Like it's clear what the contract says. Oh my God. I'm not even like an Ethan Klein fan. You're making me defend Ethan Klein super hard. What the fuck? Give me a break with this shit.
These guys are going to be stealing money from me and then coming on the phone and spitting in my face with that shit. Why didn't you leave earlier? I don't know, because we had a fucking business arrangement. I didn't expect you to just silently steal my money. So yeah, he tried to justify it. They says, no, we're keeping it. And so now, as you guys may have noticed, some of y'all may have noticed that our memberships program, a lot of you got emails saying the membership program is paused. And the reason for that is because now I need to make this horrible move that I've been putting off for so long, that I have to create a new AdSense account. And to do that, I have to erase my old AdSense account. By the way, I did this all with someone from YouTube. So this is, according to YouTube, the best way to do this. So when I can't...
The thing that I find annoying about it, and obviously I don't know each individual's chat's take on everything, but it feels like people will do this thing where it could be this, you could present exactly the same situation with a streamer they like, and they would have the opposite take, which is just mind-blowing to me. That is like... It just proves how futile it is to come onto these platforms and actually try and change people's minds on these sorts of things in any substantive way, because it's hopeless. If you were committed to just hating someone to the point where anything they do is wrong no matter what it is, even if they're in the right, you can't, that level of retard, you might as well just fucking lobotomize them at that point, because you can't get through to them, you can't reach them. I mean, I respect that take. Not saying the company didn't scam him, I'm just glad he got scammed. That's an acceptable take, okay? Listen, that's a bit more acceptable to me. But people that are trying to argue that Ethan is in the wrong in principle here is wild to me, unless you either have access to information that I don't, or you've got more insight into this case than I do by some other means. I mean, it's just it's so obvious.
So my old AdSense account that was in Israel, so I could leave BBTV and get paid directly from YouTube. Now the monetization on all of our channels, the podcast, the clips channel, even H3H3 Productions.
The clause says 100% from your videos. Where's the contract definition for your videos? How do you think people choose to become? How do you think people become YouTube members? What? Like it's. They just have. They don't even watch the videos. They're just like, oh, I'm going to become a YouTube member because I like this guy. Also, the clause clearly states elsewhere that it includes subscriptions. I just don't. That's a valid legalese question. So you think? Let me get this straight. You think that what they're going to try and argue is that when we say your videos, we mean money directly off of your videos. We don't include YouTube memberships in money that you make from YouTube from your videos. Is that genuinely an argument you think they're going to try and make and may be successful in doing so? Listen, you people, listen. You guys just don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. It isn't even YouTube based. It is Google AdSense. Okay. You understand that YouTube pay you via Google AdSense, right? Do you know how that works? I've got a Google AdSense account, but I don't run any Google ads. It's because that's how YouTube pay you. Honestly, it's fucking hopeless, man. This is why I'm so black-pilled, by the way, chat. This is why I'm so black-pilled on the futility of all of this, is because you do a segment like this where pretty clearly, based on what we're seeing, Ethan is being fucked over by a big company, and people are still trying to argue the toss about it because they hate Ethan. And it's like, yep. Is your argument that the large company didn't have the lawyer's review and just decided to screw him over? My argument is very simple, and I don't know why you're trying to overcomplicate it. It's that they've written out a contract, okay, which very clearly, based on what we've been shown at least, indicates that Ethan is entitled to 100% of YouTube revenue, including subscriptions, okay? I'm not saying a lawyer didn't review it, but what's happening pretty clearly is a company is trying to use some sort of legal loophole type situation to try and argue that they're entitled to $600,000 that they're not entitled to. Thank you for the gifted subs. Appreciate it. The membership program did not exist when the contract is signed, so it falls under other revenue. But Ethan showed parts of the document that talked about a subscription service which completely describes and explains what a YouTube membership is. This is like arguing with monkeys. You're trying to explain to them how something works, and they're just flinging shit at you. You're like, oh, stop flinging shit at me. They just don't stop.
Everything is zero monetization. Everything is off. Memberships is paused. It's all. And this is the best way to do it with YouTube on the phone. And so I created a new AdSense account. I am waiting for it to get approved. They don't work on the weekend. I just love that. YouTube doesn't work on the weekend. I go, yeah, that makes sense. People don't post.
But you don't know how it works. Okay. You realize I've got a fucking YouTube channel, right? You realize that I've got a YouTube channel. Yes, DK fucking runs it and all this shit. But I know how the payouts work, and I know what fucking memberships are, and I know how memberships work. Like, yeah, obviously, I've said multiple times, we haven't seen the full contract. If there's something that isn't being shown, maybe there's something there, okay? What I'm saying is I know how YouTube works, and based on how YouTube works and the contract we've been shown, it's pretty clear what they ought to be referring to and what they're referring to. I'm getting one guide.
Videos on the weekend, so why would you need anybody there? CEO is so trashy, She wouldn't even get on the call with me. She sent her little underling to call. It was like the head of partner.
Wait, why does he keep showing the picture of her? I disavow that, okay? Listen, I disavow that, all right?
Partner scams. I said, does the CEO know that this is the decision you're making? I just want to make crystal clear y'all know what you're doing. You're saying that this is your money, the $620,000, and you are not giving it back to us. And he goes, this was in consultation with her and everybody and lawyers and legal. And I says, okay, dude. I got pretty fiery on that call. I'm not going to lie. I went kind of medieval. And I'd love to play some of the moments there for you because they're just so obscene. But so people know, that's why The membership's paused. I thank all of you so much for caring enough about us, you know, to be like, hey, my payment's paused.
What's a third-party advertiser? I'd imagine that refers to a sponsorship deal. So nothing to do with Google's advertising thing or anything like that. But, you know, Huel come along and are like, we want to run a sponsorship. BBTV have got, obviously, because that's how the MCNs make a lot of their money, as we were saying earlier, is they'll have sponsors come to the forefront to say, we want to sponsor people. We know you've got a load of people under you. And then they'll go to whatever channel they think is going to work for and say, run this sponsorship. We'll take whatever percentage it is. Memberships are not the same as subscriptions. Ethan is wrong. Okay. Did you not see the part where in the contract they laid out a membership and it perfectly described? They laid out what a subscription was and it adequately described the membership. Did you not see that bit? Did you turn your head away at that moment when they showed that on the screen? Oh. Now, heroin overdosing is normally fine, but they're just having some retarded takes today. It's fine. It happens. It happens. Don't worry. This is about revenue from Google. This is about revenue you're paid, and they make clear some of the terms. And it seemed, based on the contract we've seen, when they explain what their idea of a subscription is, it perfectly, adequately describes what a membership is. So even if the membership didn't exist at its inception, it still is covering that eventuality when it did launch.
Paused what's going on, you know. Thank you for caring. I mean, that's ultimately the only reason that they are able to steal this money is because you guys are so generous and so supportive.
Genius wannabe lawyers in chat gauging a case off 2 blurbs from the person suing. Classic. Listen, there could be, I've said a couple of times, this could be more information, okay? But if you are looking at the information presented and you're coming to the conclusion that Ethan is wrong, you're retarded. You're literally retarded, okay? You could say maybe Ethan is not telling the full story. You could say maybe there's more to the contract than we can see. All perfectly reasonable things to say, okay? But to look at the information and say, Ethan is wrong, the company's in the right, you are a brain-dead fucking moron who I'm bemused that you're able to draw air into your lungs with the level of pure retardation that you're operating on.
And I love you guys so much. It's just been so freaking stressful dealing with this since I discovered it. And I'm like, please, God, just don't make me go down this route again. You know, please, I don't want this. Just give me the money back. And, you know, my fears were confirmed. They go, nah, it's ours. Sorry, sucker. You should have left earlier, idiot. Okay, so I've got everything. I sent already everything to the lawyer, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed at these scumbags. So shady. Does Justin Trudeau know that she's a scumbag? She's giving me Jen Shaw vibes. Maybe they can share a cell. That would be great. They can.
Honestly, I'm not. This just seems excessive on his part. Why would you do this? It just seems pointless. And like, if anything, it's going to negatively impact any case you've got. I mean, I don't know if it would at all, but it just seems like an unnecessary risk. Right? He needs to be careful, yeah. If you're about to enter a potentially costly legal case with like a big company, anything you're doing like this that could be used against you is probably just not worth doing. Like, what's the upside of doing this? Even if that we're like, okay, well, maybe there isn't a downside. What's the upside of doing this? We're not talking about just trolling and shitposting. We're talking about you owe me $600,000 fucking dollars, bitch. Just don't put this in. Just focus on business as usual shit. This is the situation. We're going to lay it all out factually and fairly and leave it at that. Fuck me, man. What an idiot.
Can talk shop. Maybe after this she can get into the scamming old people with telephone marketing like Jen Shaw. That would be a powerful. She'd be good at that. This woman looked me in the face and spit in my fucking face and said, no, that $620,000 is ours. And let me tell you what BBTV does for.
But have you seen what he does with the guy who sued him 4 times? He doesn't really. But okay. He recently has just lost an anti-slap suit or something with a guy because he was talking all this fucking shit about him on stream, right? I watched it the other day. I'm pretty certain that he's been burnt by this recently, where he's talked all this shit about someone, and it's, he's on the hook for defamation. There was an anti-slap attempted, and it got dismissed by the judge, so he is going to have to face the defamation suit, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's what happened. And obviously, part of that is the fact he's talked all this shit on stream about this guy. So it just seems like this is so unnecessary. Is no one there going, right, Ethan, we look through the video, okay? I mean, yeah, sure, he can still win or lose the case. Wait, yes. But the point is, the actions he's engaged in his content have negatively impacted him by going down this kind of route with it, right? Like, just take a step back. There's no one there to say, Ethan, we looked through the video, love it, think you lay out your case out fairly. All this stuff about bringing up the CEO and putting pictures out there, not sure if that's really beneficial. Should probably take that out. Is there no one to say that to him?
For us. They do nothing. And they know they do nothing. He goes, we fulfilled our end of the bargain. Well, yeah, there's nothing for you to do. So, and I'll be honest, it's up to lose that much money. And then on top of it, to have all of our AdSense and membership turned off for, I don't even know how long it's going to be. I mean, listen, we run a business. We got a mortgage on our office. We got 12 full-time employees. We have a shitload of bills. Like, this is a business we're running here. Yeah, she would crush it in elder abuse and scamming the elderly. She would be so good at that, man. Oh, hello. Yes. We're looking to sell you business classes. Okay. Be awesome at that. Maybe she could consider a new vertical in Medicaid fraud. That's a huge business. Well, you'd be like, yeah, hello, government. Yeah, I got a pharmacy here. We're seeing all kinds of elderly people. Yeah, you can just send us billions. Why are you getting that, Sharzad? I mean, there's a way more money in that than stealing my $620,000. That's a good idea for her. Crypto, launch a.
Honestly, the fucking cope with his fans is unreal here. They've locked down their accounts. I mean, yeah, like, is it any fucking surprise? Jesus Christ. When did this happen? This happened at 4:30 a.m. this morning, and this was released 6 hours ago. Yeah, maybe this came out after. They got mass harassed. I mean, I suppose this could have been captured later on. But I mean, even if they did lock down ahead of time, before this video came out, I mean, it was probably a good idea to, based on the fact that he's going super fucking hard on the CEO.
NFT, girl, that's what everyone's doing. That's what all the shady pieces of shit are doing. Let's get you on the crypto. Life insurance fraud, you have a significant other? I mean, kill them. That pays out big. Life insurance, kill your husband. Huge money in that,
Bro,
so many better scams you can do.
Bro, why are you saying this? Why? What reason? What possible reason is there to say this shit? It just is fucking insane.
What can I do, huh? Anyways, I thank you guys so much for the support, and love you guys so much. And we'll get this sorted out. And you win some, you lose some. But ultimately, I'm winning all of them because I got you guys, man. I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart to support this community. You guys are the best, man. I don't deserve it. So thank you.
I'm just like,
Go-
why the fuck would he say that? Clearly he's pissed off, but just seems like a massive risk to talk like that about your opponent in a potential legal case that's coming up. Jesus. Well, there we go. Okay, so quick summary for people that are too retarded to understand what's going on. I mean, listen, if you don't understand what's going on, that's fine. That's a bit mean. Look, this stuff is all boring content creator legal shit, right? But if you're going to intentionally try and obfuscate and be retarded about it, that's annoying. So basically, Ethan Klein signed with a one of those groups that basically monetizes your shit. What's it called? An MCN. Is that it? Where is the fucking screenshots? So really, really simple. Really, really simple, okay? He signed a deal with a company, okay? Him and the company agreed, as per the contract term here, that BBTV, broadband TV, will pay you 100% of the Google net revenue received by BBTV from your videos on your YouTube channels, okay? Right? Now, what they've said is that doesn't include, although it says there, the Google revenue thing, they're trying to argue that it doesn't include channel memberships. And they're saying that channel memberships are actually covered by this clause here. So they're trying to say that actually we only will pay you 70% of memberships because that's covered by this clause here. And that's despite the fact that there isn't a case-by-case agreement. And that's despite the fact that not only does it say here that they'll pay you 100% of the Google revenue, which you would think memberships would be included as, it's paid by Google via AdSense. It would make sense that they would be included. They also lay out here, Google net revenue for any period means the revenue created and actually received by BBTV in such a period from Google Ads and Google subscriptions with respect to your content on YouTube. And what is a Google subscription, you might ask? Well, they lay it out here because I believe this contract came about before memberships existed. Google subscriptions means a subscription-based service on YouTube offered or facilitated by Google whereby end users may access your videos, the timing and selection of which is at the end user's discretion and for which the end user is charged a predetermined periodic fee to access such content, as often as the end user selects during the period covered by the fee. For the avoidance of doubt, Google subscriptions include the Google-branded service YouTube Red and any successor or replacement thereof. So pretty clear to me, at least, unless we're missing something, that would absolutely cover YouTube memberships. So unless there's a lot of information missing that we can't see, it seems pretty clear that Ethan Klein is in the right and the company's in the wrong. I know Google Red, I think that was the old Google, oh, fuck's sake, my phone's popping off because I'm saying Google too much. That was like the old Google premium service. So that would be like Google Premium money, but this is a separate part. It says includes the Google branded service. This here is referring to something different. This pretty adequately describes what a Google membership is, what a YouTube membership is. So, you know, like I say, I think it's very unlikely that Ethan Klein is going to come out wrong in this, but yeah, DK just mentioned to me in DMs about this. So I suppose one thing they could try and argue is that they're only referring to YouTube Premium, which is where you pay $12 a month and you don't watch ads. But I guess that this part here, so it says it includes the Google branded service. But this part here specifically refers to This just describes like what a membership is, right? But yeah, I mean, it may go to court, it may go down that direction. I guess we'll see what happens. What was DK's take? Oh, just that they might try and argue that they only were referring to Google Premium here, YouTube Premium. DK's brain rot, though. No, DK knows more than I do about YouTube. But yeah, it could be an angle they try and argue. I just don't see how, with what we've been shown, someone is going to look at this and decide that the company is correct to refer to, especially when it's so clearly laid out that it's 100% of Google revenue. Like, even beyond any argument about what a subscription is or isn't, like the term here is pretty explicit. Google net revenue will pay you an amount equal to 100% of Google net revenue. Memberships are paid as part of your net revenue that's paid out to you. Like, you know, that's, to me, that's just clear. Like, you get paid an amount via AdSense, which is your Google revenue, and that's what you end up getting from them because it's included within that revenue that you get, right? We'll see, though. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he releases the call. That'll be quite interesting. That'll be quite interesting. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's just kind of wild to me that people are so anti-Ethan that they're like looking at this going, yep, Ethan's definitely in the wrong on this. The drama farm's going well. People hate Ethan Klein, but it looks like he's being shafted by a big company. Someone asked why he took this. He took this because apparently he had some problem with a bank in Israel. Ethan can be right and the company can still win over contract law. Yeah. I mean, I don't know enough about contract law to know about what would happen in court, obviously. I'm not a fucking lawyer. I just think they're going to be hard pressed. They're going to be hard pressed to argue against a number of things here. One of the first ones being, it says pretty clearly here, Google net revenue 100%. It's all wrapped up in yeah, it's all wrapped up together. There's no differentiation between a super chat. There is a differentiation in terms of listing it differently, but in terms of $1 being paid to you by YouTube, it's not like they separate out the different payments. It's all one lump sum. Ads, fan funding, which is super chats and memberships, and YouTube premium money too. Anyway, Short for Ataki, this might be of interest to you. It's quite an interesting story. It seems like this company is just trying to put a fast one and is trying and find some. It's like they're trying to find something in their contract that justifies them retaining all this membership money. So probably will be like a fairly open and shut case when it comes to like if this ever goes to court, right? However, there is a problem. There is a problem. Other creators have started to come forward and to say they've also got the same issue where they have also had 30% of their memberships taken. Okay? So obviously, this, based on the limited information we've got, seems to be a kind of procedure that this company has repeatedly used. We have the same contract, 100% YouTube revenue, with BBTV from 2017. They've been taking 70% of our memberships as well. Wait, I thought it was 30%. Unless they've got it wrong. Because it says 30% here. I thought it was 70-30 in favor of the creator. Anyway, Didn't notice till now since it's a small amount and we don't actively push it on our viewers, but I'd imagine other creators have been affected as well. I have the same agreement with BBTV from 2017, already reviewing everything on our back end. It wouldn't surprise me if more creators of this unknown issue become forward. Yeah, they've been taking 30% of my memberships too. So this is another part of the drama that's happened as well, is that Kavos has come forward to say, and apparently this is other people too, BBTV have changed their payment date. So normally they pay on the 15th of every month, as they have done for the last 5 years. But there's an email that's just gone out that the day before they pay, the payout has been moved to next month. Interesting. So why is that? Why is it that they've moved the payment date? Obviously, you've got this drama happening, which is one aspect of this. But then there's this. So they have seen a massive dip in their value over the course. This is all maximum period of time. So however long they've been operating, they've been a massive dip in their stock price. So it's pretty standard procedure that if a company is in some sort of financial difficulty, they will, and there's like, this is very typical of like a business having a cash flow problem, is changing payment dates at short notice, right? Because it could be based on the stock price going down and based on the fact they're changing the payment date, it could be they've got a cash flow problem. They don't have money to actually pay people. And so they're desperately trying to find a way to find the money to pay the people they need to pay, right? Like robbing Peter to pay Paul. So, yeah. Happy Easter. Thank you. Happy Easter to you too. I mean, I don't know about the economic situation, okay? But it just seems very unusual that they are moving the payment date at such short notice after 5 years. Check their 2021 revenue report. Where would I find that? Is it because of no? So this is an interesting point. Someone asked earlier, why would you use an MCN? Okay. Right? Why would you use an MCN? Let me tell you why. First of all, there's a very, okay, I know people don't like this, so I'm just going to fucking say it how it is, okay? Some of these companies are very predatory, okay? It's not a fucking secret that small new content creators don't know what the fuck they're doing. They haven't got a fucking clue about what they're doing, okay? So these companies will come along, rubbing their hands together. Oh, hello there. Small little content creator. Oh, you're doing well on YouTube. That's good to see. I tell you what, why don't you work with us and we'll help your channel grow and we'll get you sponsorship deals too. Okay? And the small content creator, I get emails like this all the time from a company called MediaCube. They're an MCN and I just ignore them because I'm not interested. But they say things like, well, let me tell you. I tell you what, let me read you an email from one of these companies and you tell me whether you think you would go for something like this, okay? Here we go. Hello, hope you're having a great day. I'm Blank from MediaCube, an official partner of Google and Meta, which provides all sorts of services for YouTubers. First of all, I want to say that you do great with your content, which is enjoyable and easy to watch, and it's very professional. That's why we would be happy to see you as part of our team and offer you cooperation by providing useful services, tools, and great technical support. Another email. You seem to be full of work, so I've decided to save you time and clarify what we have in mind. We've created a product that can meet all the needs related to your YouTube channel in terms of support, analytics, design, brand deals, and even additional passive income. For example, with us, you can get up to ×6 monthly advance of YouTube income in one click for developing new projects without any paperwork. So it sounds like they're willing to put up cash for you that obviously they're going to take a massive fucking chunk of your ongoing kind of income to cover that, I'd imagine, right? And this is their website. And if you notice here, so yeah, imagine you're a small content creator and you're growing, but you've got a cash flow problem. You don't have much cash and you need to buy some new equipment. This is going to be very tempting to you because you're going to think, oh, well, they're going to give me money in advance and I'm going to be able to buy what I need and then I pay them back or something like that, however it works for the end, right? So as a small content creator, stuff like this is going to be very appealing and it's designed to get you through the door. Can you see how if you're a small content creator, this is going to be tempting for you if you're just starting out? Getting an advance on YouTube money, that's fucking wild. And also they do things like you can get money every day. So you can actually get a daily amount paid out. But obviously, what you're not going to see is at the back end, they're going to be taking big cuts of whatever it is you're doing. Because they have to fund this. So that's how the business works. This functions by taking money that you've earned, essentially. Now, are they providing you with the service? Yes, sure. And maybe for some people, that might be beneficial. Who am I to say? Everyone's circumstances are different, right? But broadly speaking, these MCNs are not all that you know, they take a big, you got to sign a lengthy contract. They fucking get their claws into you. They offer you all these juicy things. But then you've got to pay the fucking piper at some point, right? So anyway, that is why people might take an MCN deal, is because as a content creator that doesn't know what they're doing, it might seem like a good option. And it may be a good option for some people, but most of the time I probably would advise against it. But anyway, that's what an MCN does, essentially, right? Anyway, listen, guys, keep it on track. Ethan Klein, okay, apparently did this because he had to, because it was the only way he could get paid by YouTube. So he signed up with these BBTV holdings, okay? But now he's been burnt, and obviously he's talking about it on Twitter. The reason I'm talking about this again is he's released another video. Oh, what's this? I believe the reason... So that's the other point about this too. Ethan Klein has challenged BBTV and said, give him the money back, and they're fighting it. And obviously, it's $620,000 that he's saying that he's owed. It's unlikely that because they're having to push payments back for other creators, which could well be because of financial difficulty. So the high likelihood is like they're not going to have the money to pay him back. I believe the reason BBTV chose not to pay us back is simply that they don't have the money. They recently took a loan of $20 million to pay off debt. Oh. Now that is an interesting piece of information that I didn't know until just then. No, wait, this is different. So this is a different, I mean, it's the same company. So this was a loan that they got to pay off a debt, an overdraft. And then this is, what's Pacifican? What's Pacifican? What's that? What's Pacifican? Yeah, it looks like there's, do you know what it is? I would imagine that there's probably, especially if they're to take a $20 million loan, there's probably been problems with this company for ages. And it's only now that Ethan's noticed this has happened by chance that this is getting talked about. Jesus, man, that's wild. Well, that's the thing. So, lol, okay. This is another point that I think is worth noting. That the commentary guys have been very dismissive of like the concerns about this. But apparently, yeah, look, Boblack's had a take. Yet another case of MCN stealing money. I lost about $1,000 to Creative Nation MCN before they went under. Defy Media stole a ton of money from Smosh before going under. It looks like BBTV is next, and they're taking Ethan's money to the grave with them. I'm honestly surprised that big YouTubers like H3, Kavos, and Yo Mama are still with these legacy MCNs. There's quite a few modern MCNs that don't take channel revenue for sponsorship support. Just 20% off the sponsorship deal itself instead of 30% of all YouTube revenue. No, that's true, DK. We spoke about this yesterday. Ethan Klein's deal wasn't that anyway. That's the problem with Ethan Klein's issue. That's the problem with Ethan Klein's issue. Is that they're not supposed to take channel revenue, and they are taking channel revenue. So that's the fundamental problem with this whole situation. But I don't know what Kavos's deal is, obviously. But yeah, he had 100 exactly. So that isn't actually the problem here. But yeah, some of these MCNs obviously do suck. Is Ethan raging about this? Yeah, Ethan's really mad. Well, in fact, we can watch the video about it now. Wait, he changed the name of the video. Hang on a minute. Wait. Hang on a second. I'm pretty sure that this video was titled BBTV are going bankrupt in my opinion. And now it's changed to update regarding BBTV.
Okay, here I am back with part 2 with some updates. First of all, since I announced that BBTV has been...
Bro, wait, what? Bro, Ethan Klein is uncancelable. The motherfucker has survived everything. There's no drama. What? Yes, there is. We're talking about... What?
Skimming
okay, listen,
30%
okay?
of the memberships without telling anyone. People started to look deeper at their analytics who had a similar deal as me. Their deal was 100% of YouTube revenue would go to them, and their contract existed before the membership program was rolled out. Here's one such email from Brody Fox. He says, we have the same contract, 100% YouTube revenue with BBTV from 2017. They've been taking 70% of our membership as well. Didn't notice till now since it's a small amount and we don't actively push it on our viewers, but I'd imagine other creators have been affected as well. Here's a comment from Reddit. I have the same agreement with BBTV, 100% YouTube revenue from 2000.
We've read this already, but... Very bad, declining profit massively, but also seems like lots of debt in the background. Oh boy, not good.
17.
Oh shit.
Already reviewing everything on our back end. It wouldn't surprise me if more creators have this unknown issue and begin coming forward. Edit. Yep, they've been taking 30% of our memberships as well. But that's actually not the most concerning thing that I've seen. And this is the main reason that I'm making this video.
Also, listen, I obviously am retarded when it comes to economics, but someone's stock price dropping by 90%, right? That's bad. Obviously, it's bad, but it is it's indicative of a catastrophic trajectory for a business, right? Like, as much as the line goes down, it's like a plane plummeting towards the ground. Right? Like, it's a massive problem, and it's indicative of enormous financial woes at the company.
Kavos tweeted out, I've been with BBTV for 5 years. Every month on the 15th of each month, I have been paid for 5 years. Today, everyone receives this email telling us one day before payday that the payout has been moved to next month. I feel like, in my opinion, I know what that means. In my opinion, that means nobody's getting money for anything ever again from them. You know, they're kicking it down the street.
I mean, I don't know if you could say it as substantively as that, but it does seem like they're kicking the can down the road. It does seem like they're kicking the can down the road, because why would, other than wanting to do that, what reason would there be, in my opinion, what reason would there be for changing the payment date after 5 years? And not only that, changing the payment date to like next month, not even like a whole other that sounds like a company that's scrabbling to find the money to pay out that they need to pay.
Their justification.
Bank overdraft of $11 million
for it, which makes zero sense. It says, this is the email he shared. I'm pretty sure their emails go to my spam folder, so I'm just reading the one he got. Hi, Kavos. As you may have seen over the past week, a number of banking institutions and affiliated payment solutions have been affected by recent market events. Okay. While BBTV has no affiliation with any of the affected banks, we understand that many creators are concerned about this situation and may seek to update their payment details. Based on these events, if you wish to change the bank account we sent payments to, please advise us at your earliest convenience. I don't think that many of their creators are banking at a specialty bank for startups only called Silicon Valley Bank. Now, I could be wrong, but
okay, again, economics retarded. Does that not, that sounds to me like a business that is got financial difficulties that doesn't want to say they've got financial difficulties. So they say it in a way that makes it seem like they don't have financial difficulties, but they do. That's the thing, right? Companies will go, oh, guys, there's lots of crazy shit happening right now, or things are a bit fucked. Oh.
I don't think so. In an effort to avoid potential processing delays associated with these impacts across a range of partner payment vendors, BBTV is updating your payment schedule. So they say, in order to avoid delays, we're going to delay the payments. Under this new payment schedule, in line with our payment terms, you'll be paid 1 week following the end of the month. For example, your January 2023 earnings will now be paid April 7th instead of March 15th. So a full 3 weeks it's been kicked down the road. While we recognize this change may cause initial...
Wait a second. Hang on a second. Surely they would have been paid by now.
...inconvenience for some creators. It's part of our commitment to ensure ongoing timeliness of partner payments. 7th. Guys, we gotta make sure that we're sending you payments on time. And therefore, we're going to pay you late. 3 weeks late.
Poor millionaires, right. Okay, listen, you fucking anti-Ethan Klein retards, okay? I'm not even an Ethan Klein guy, okay? Content creators are not all millionaires, okay? Some of these content creators are not millionaires and they're probably going to get fucked, and that sucks for them. You don't have to care about it, I guess. Maybe you think it's just streamer problems. But imagine if you went into work one day and they said, right, I know you're supposed to get paid today, or you're supposed to get paid on March 15th. Sorry, but we're going to have to pay you 3 weeks later instead. You'd be like pissed off, wouldn't you? You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean?
Actually, what's interesting is I'm looking at my bank account, and it seems that they did pay me on March 16th. And so it seems like they're only screwing over some creators. But the fear is like, so why are you paying some people and then not paying other?
Wait, whoa. Just to be clear, sorry. I need to say something else as well, okay? Imagine thinking streaming is a real job. I mean, the money I get is real enough. It spends just the same as if I was working in an office somewhere. So, and there's a lot more of it. There's a lot fucking more of it to go around. But anyway, I don't want to fucking talk about that now. Listen, I'm not saying that you have to feel sorry for Ethan. But what I am saying is that there's other people that are going to be affected by this. That you can adequately like feel some sympathy for if you want to. You don't have to feel sympathy for anyone if you don't want to. You can think fuck all of them. But I'm just trying to highlight to you that it's not as simple as, oh, wealthy content creator getting fucked over. There's a lot more to it than just Ethan Klein getting like fucked over, right?
Other people. My fear is that they don't have the money and that these guys are on the verge of declaring bankruptcy. I've been reading over the contract, and, you know, my remedies are not that much. I could unlink immediately without giving a 30-day notice if I was afraid that they were going to go bankrupt. Or no, if they declared bankruptcy. I do have fears that they're going to declare bankruptcy. But you know what? The punishment for terminating it is that I have to pay them back the $10,000 signing bonus they gave me like 5 years ago. So I said, you know what? I will happily owe them $10,000 to get out of this because every cent I'm earning now is still being funneled to them for the next 2 months. You have to be, and I'd have to be like the biggest idiot sucker ever to sit here and allow them after all this to keep collecting my money while I wait patiently for 30 days to come up. No, I said, okay, fine, I'll take the penalty. Now I went to all my channels to unlink. There's a button here. It says unlink, great. But when I do it, it says, wait, removal pending.
Oh, so there's a YouTube integration with this as well. Fuck, YouTube are going to be complicit. Oh no, YouTube are going to be like complicit in a bunch of creators getting fucked over. That's why he's adding YouTube in it as well. Oh no. That's not going to be a good look. Susan! No, it's not Susan anymore, is it? It's someone else. It's like, imagine there's a button on YouTube and you click it and some corporate guy comes round and rapes your asshole every month. That's basically what this is. Click the button and we're going to send a suited guy round to forcibly enter your asshole and leave with 30% of your money.
So let me get this straight. The guys who are, in my opinion, stealing my money now have the option. Now it's up to them if they want to remove me. I don't understand that. So all my channels now are pending removal at their grace, at their good graces, of course. I have no reason not to trust them with my money for the next 30 days. You know, it's not like I have a commercial mortgage, 12 employees. It's cool. I don't need to make any money now for like 4 months, which is basically what's potentially going to happen here. So the reason I'm making this is, one, I want to bring awareness to this situation going on with BBTV, and I want other people to look and see if this has been happening.
What do you think about that? That's an interesting thought. I mean, I do wonder, like, if his income just stops for 4 months, like, does he ever enough to fucking... If I hear one more dumbass motherfucker talk about he should have read the contract because they heard a streamer say it 3 dramas ago, I'm going to go fucking nuclear. I mean, listen, look, I think that, like, that's like almost like a thought terminating cliche, right? Is that the right, am I using that right? Because it's like, well, he should have read the contract. It's like, but there's a lot more to it than that, isn't there? Because he did read the contract and he signed the contract believing that he was going to get 100% of his YouTube revenue, and he's not gotten 100% of his YouTube revenue. So he signed the contract, and one of the terms that he thought was explicit isn't apparently applicable, and now he's going to have to argue this legally. And also the company might be going bankrupt. He didn't read the contract well enough. Okay, I tell you what, your favorite if this was your favorite content creator, you'd have a totally different position on this because you're retarded, okay? The company is trying to fuck Ethan over by arguing a bullshit point when the contract is explicit. Okay, anyway. Listen, I don't care anymore. Good luck to you. If you wanna hate Ethan and have the wrong opinion on this because you hate Ethan, then good luck to you.
To them, I want them to look and see if they got this email like Kavos did.
This is pulled out of that quarterly report. The company is exposed to financial risk, operational risk, capital risk, and interest rate risk. Jesus Christ.
I also want to know if you guys got paid. Apparently, you're all supposed to get paid yesterday. So did that money even come through? I don't know. I'd like to know. And the final reason is this insane notion that it's up to them to remove me.
Yes, DK. Listen, DK. Listen, you know about this more than I. It's like, maybe you can help me explain to these fucking morons, right? When you get paid from YouTube,
From your
Okay, look, Google net revenue. BBTV will pay you an amount equal to 100% of Google net revenue, right? Memberships are paid as part of Google net revenue. That's what you get. Everything gets paid for Google AdSense. Ads, super chats, and memberships, all in one lump sum from Google.
From this horrific parasitic arrangement. So I don't know. And in some way, I hope YouTube sees this, someone from YouTube, so that they can, one, look into BBTV and their financial situation. Are they about to go bankrupt?
Wait, okay, people are saying about a different term. As I said yesterday, if Ethan has missed something out, which is damning, then yeah, obviously that's fucked, and Ethan is a fucking retard. But based on what we've seen so far, this is what they're going with. 70% of other net revenue. But then when they talk about what a membership, what a subscription is, where does the company take its cut? It takes its cut by getting sponsorships and taking a percentage of the sponsorship. Google subscriptions means a subscription-based service on YouTube, offered or facilitated by Google, whereby end users may access your videos, the timing and selection of which is at such end user's discretion, and for which the end user is charged a predetermined periodic fee to access such content as often as the end user selection in the period covered by the fee. And it says it includes stuff like YouTube Red, which is the precursor to YouTube Premium. But this pretty adequately describes a membership too. Yes, okay, that's the point. The point is BBTV have been scraping 30% off of memberships, and they're trying to argue that it's not covered in the 100% of the Google ad revenue, the Google revenue, and that's the point. And they're trying to argue, no, actually it falls under another metric, which is why we're taking 30%. Explain to me what I'm missing from this. People were insisting that there was something missing from this. What's missing? What am I missing here? Okay. The way that sponsorships work is a company, Blue Spark Energy Drink, will come to the MCN and say, hey, we want to run an ad campaign. We've got a budget of, $50,000. The MCN will go to the channel and go, hey, we've got a sponsorship deal. We want to run on your channel. Here's an ad read. Here's the thing you need to do. Okay. They're going to pay us $10,000 to do this. As per agreement, we'll take $3,000 of the sponsorship and you'll take $7,000. That's how a sponsorship deal will work. Exactly, DK. That's exactly the point I made yesterday. Of course, if there's further information that Ethan is obfuscating, like if there was a part of the contract that said something about specifically memberships or something that said, we will take a cut of that, then Ethan is wrong and he's lied. He's lied to make his point. But based on the information we've had access to, it seems pretty cut and dry. Because I don't think people understand. MCNs have been known for fucking ages to do loads of shade. MCNs do shady shit with contracts all the fucking time. There was this thing with Machinima where people were getting locked into extra time on their contracts without being told or being made explicit. They do all sorts of wacky shit to try and fuck with you and try and use the loopholes. This is very typical for an MCN to do.
Because if they are, YouTube needs to intervene and not send them payments, right? Because a lot of creators, everybody on the network, YouTube sends their money to BBTV for 2 months before they get it. If they're going bankrupt, YouTube has got to stop those payments because they're just burning that. They're just sending their money into the void. But this, I have a bad feeling this is a really horrible situation that's about to happen. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a network in 2019 that went belly up. It was a network called Defy. 50 YouTubers, big YouTubers, said that they were owed more than $1.7 million following the collapse of Defy Network, and they're likely to never see that money. Well, I'm in the same situation, and
Hey,
I'm afraid with BBTV it's going to be a lot more than $1.7 million.
Because Ethan is known for omit details.
So this is what's
so far look legit.
Sure. Listen, I'm not gonna fucking Of course, Ethan could be like, but then that would be fucking disastrous for him. Because we're not talking about stupid internet drama. We're talking about financial deals and contracts. And if he's like lying about this shit publicly, I don't know. I'd imagine that could come back to bite him in some way.
what's happening. It's been stressful. I've been talking to attorneys. I've been trying to get someone at YouTube to take a serious look at this, which I haven't really been successful at yet. So maybe you guys can help, but I have a bad feeling that this is going to get a lot worse. Well, here's to hoping my business can survive 4 months without any revenue. So thank you to Broadband TV. And of course, their incredible CEO, Shahrzad Rafati, who just in 2021 had this fantastic interview.
Oh no, look at this.
She's sharing why ethical business decisions are good business decisions. Well, I guess a lot's changed since 2021, Shahrzad?
Listen, look. At the end of the day, we could have a situation where it's a Steven Crowder job. And I maybe understand why people are a bit like, oh, not sure about this. Hey, they give the $5.
Everything looks legit so far, but I would like to read all the docs fully. I give him the benefit of the doubt since everything looks legit, for now.
So, obviously there's been some wacky contract shit where Steven Crowder has like omitted certain details and been dishonest and done stuff with it, right? Now, I will happily admit that could be the case here. And with further information, I would absolutely change my mind on this. If there was something in the contract that wasn't revealed, that was then revealed that showed that Ethan Klein was being dishonest or lying, I'm fucking all for it, okay? But my simple point is based on the information that we've got so far, and yes, it is of course biased because it's Ethan, it seems pretty clear that this MCN is trying to pull a fast one by swiping a percentage off of memberships, because memberships didn't exist at the conception of some of these contracts, and they're trying to frame it in a certain way in order to try and make it fit within a pre-existing contract that they've got. Right? That to me is what it looks like, right? Because this is the other thing people are saying about this thing. What am I missing? What could I possibly be missing? What is there here that I'm not seeing that would make me think when it says BBTV will pay you an amount equal to 100% of Google net revenue received from BBTV from your videos on your YouTube channels. This seems like explicit. I don't know what else could be said unless it was specifically saying something to do with memberships or some associated thing that would make me go, okay, well then that's different.
Yeah, this looks like a rug pull indeed.
Yes, Johnny Velocity, they're being cute about it. Exactly. This happens all the time where companies will try and interpret contracts in ways that are favorable to them and it's like pushing a square peg into a round. Oh, well, no, this means this actually. But then it's, I'm talking to the one person in chat who's disagreeing with me. Anyway, people were talking about a class action lawsuit. Is that true? Could that happen? Attorney Tom. Class action. Anyway, that was all I wanted to watch.